This is how it starts, removing the seats from the vehicle to make more space for cargo. Normally I would remove the passenger seat in the front as well, but I just couldn't be bothered. I thought that I wouldn't do anything else, but then I saw the gig pop up on Roadie from Plainwell, Michigan, and at about $42, it looked like it was worth the drive. Then, fatefully, I saw the other two Roadie gigs also pop up. Typically, if you bid on 3 and they're all headed in the same general direction, you'll get all of them, but in this case, of course, I only got the 2 lower paying gigs, and I left feeling like I'd played myself a little bit. I also noticed something with the van that I had just purchased that looked like it would need some pretty immediate attention. One of the back tires splitting in between the treads and showing wires and significant cracking in other places as well. In retrospect, things started to go south when I shifted my attention from the jobs at hand and began looking for a set of tires at the same time. Meanwhile, Roadie did what Roadie does best and had multiple technical issues along the way, making it difficult for me to submit and complete the last job, but eventually everything did go through successfully. Before the jobs were even completed, I already had a commitment to buy 4 tires on rims from near Grand Rapids, Michigan, but I was so nervous about that tire that I decided to fill up the spare. And here was a turn of luck. The people ahead of me in line left the pump running, and I was able to get the tire filled without spending any money. I thought that maybe I should just forget about spending money on those 4 tires on rims for the moment and work with what I had, but I didn't want to back out of the commitment.
Head southeast, then turn left. Turn left toward West Superior Street, then turn left onto West Superior Street.
I turned on the GPS to go to the pickup point where I would pay $250 for the set of tires, but immediately was reminded that I had a bulb that needed to be replaced and pulled into an AutoZone to get the bulb to replace it with. This footage is from just after picking up the tires and rims for $250. I had not yet put them on the van, but just having them in the van made me feel like I had something to switch over to if I needed to. It was getting near dark, and I pulled into a public park nearby to install the new bulb in the van, which went very easily. Meanwhile, friends, don't let friends drive for DoorDash on their account because it will potentially lead to issues such as forgotten passwords, inability to sign in, incorrect payment information, or being directed to drive almost 12 hours to the last place that your friend used your account. But seriously, don't let friends use your account for anything. Make them get their own account. Sometimes you feel like a person's in a pinch and you want to help them out, and that's how I found myself in this situation where I was in a pinch and I wanted to use my own DoorDash account. At this point, it is dark. I've been on the phone with support, and I am walking back to my van. I felt that at least it was probably a much needed walk to get out of the van towards the end of the day. But at the same time, I had seen a lot of money go out and only a little bit of money come in this day. That's how things start sometimes, and since I'm starting with a new vehicle, it wasn't totally unexpected, but I was very anxious to get money actually coming in. Ultimately, I decided that I needed to just suck it up and drive back towards Grand Rapids to be within the probable DoorDashing area for Grand Rapids itself, and that would potentially resolve the issue where my DoorDash account was directing me to drive all the way down to Virginia instead. So I finished up the walk with a little bit of a jog to the van, feeling like it was a little bit later in the day than I would have liked to have been at this point, but also a little bit excited about the possibility of pulling money back in. It's always a bit of a mixed feeling. I don't want to spend a lot of time, of course, as nobody does, just pulling money in to meet my basic needs, or even just to catch up on the payments that I've already made towards the equipment, vehicle, trailer, what have you, that I've already spent money on, to then try to make money by spending hours of my time and days, weeks, months, or years of my life just to meet my basic needs. And I think for anybody who starts a small business, that's not really the end goal. But it can feel like that's where you're at, that's where you're stagnated, or that's even where you're trying to catch up to for long periods of time. And in full disclosure, that is very much where I am right now, and I have very mixed feelings about it. But I felt that the best thing to do was to buckle down, get to work, get money rolling in the right direction, and go from there. I'm going to skip over, or at least summarize very quickly, the further issues that I had with getting DoorDash to work. And there were a few, and it was a bit frustrating. But the point is that in the scheme of things, those little headaches up front are not important. The bigger questions are still the same. Do I want to do this? Do I not want to do this? Does this serve me? Does it not serve me? Is this a good way to make use of my time? Is it not a good way to make use of my time? After another hour or less of getting getting DoorDash sorted out and getting everything confirmed, I was into the app and able to begin driving and making money.
Dashboard is on the right.
My first pickup was from Red Lobster. My second was from Dash Mart, a store that I've never heard of before and that I don't think existed when I last did DoorDash several years ago. Things were different enough that this had that strange feeling of when you very first start doing something new. It's a little bit of an adventure. Every different setting and action feels a little bit more significant. All the things that happen along the way stand out. It hasn't yet become run-of-the-mill, ordinary, everyday. And even though I had the feeling that I would grow very tired of it very fast and that this wasn't something I wanted to do for a long time, it was a little bit exciting to realize that this was an option to me. It was a method that was available to work towards an end and towards a goal. It was an option on the table. And with this type of work, you begin to see the numbers add up quite literally on the screen.
Drive south. Then turn right onto Champman Court Southeast.
The instant gratification and the release of dopamine, as well as the ability to keep track of your progress towards specific goals, are all real and all very present with something like DoorDash. If you speak Spanish, you'll find this attempt at a translation from English horrendously hilarious. They use the word for a physical ring rather than the action of ringing. They use some other word instead of timbre, which everyone knows is the word for the type of bell that you would ring at an entry. Anyways, I found this couch on a curb at the curbside as I was driving by, and I really was like, why would I pick that thing up? It's bad habit at this point. I know that I'm a hoarder. But there's always a but. In this case, as I was just resolving to drive off without it, I remembered that I had a commitment in this area to pick up a hitch for the van tomorrow morning, and I didn't want to drive all the way home to sleep, so why not just sleep on a couch in the van? Either it was a twist of good luck or just life convincing me to do something that I really shouldn't be doing. My monetary situation was looking quite horrible after making the payment on the van, purchasing tires on rims that I hadn't been prepared for, and I decided to spend basically all of the money I had left on this little bit of food and toothpaste and toothbrush to hold me over, with the idea that I am actively turning the corner to the point of making money. But it's in my DoorDash account, it's not in my hand.
Hi, are you checking in with your app to earn reward points?
No, thank you though.
Alrighty, what can I get started for you?
I just have a DoorDash order for Thomas H. and Hunter M.
Alrighty, second window for you.
Thank you very much.
My goal for the night is to make at least $60, which is what I need to purchase the hitch in the morning. But I know that I won't be able to get that money into my account, so I make a decision that looks like it's very much towing the line on doing something that I told myself I would not do. I'm going to take a small loan from my bank, which allows me to take an automated small loan without prior approval through the app, but I'm only going to borrow the amount that I know I have coming to me from DoorDash. I promised myself that I wouldn't use credit anymore in my business at all, and this looks like about the closest I can come to that line while not technically crossing it. Meanwhile, the van is almost on E, and I have no money in my bank account, so I use what very little is left in a different bank account to get some gas into the van. My phone is getting low on battery, and the extra battery pack that I brought is also beginning to get low. I didn't bring a charger because I left in a rush for roadie and expected to be gone only long enough to do a roadie delivery or two. The van is looking conspicuously damaged in the front, and I just feel like I'm pushing the envelope in every possible way to turn the corner from outgoing to incoming money, and it is absolutely down to the wire. I believe that many of the best stories in life start with a very difficult beginning. Are you going to tough it out? Are you going to push through? Are you going to survive? Are you going to make it beyond that difficult moment? Or are you going to give up and have it be the end of the story? Well, this must be the start of an incredibly good story, because here I am at 2:15 in the morning at a rest stop trying to get my identity verified so that I can get payouts through the app. And when it finally does go through, it says that instant payouts won't be available for a week due to security reasons. And my bank is still on scheduled maintenance. My phone is nearing low battery life. And I decide to go ahead and call it a night, with things looking like a long uphill battle from here.